Hey, this is Big Papa Pump Scott's Diner, and you're listening to Shoot the Shit.
The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week. This is episode number 48. Wow, we've been doing this a long ass time.
Hey, let's real quick, Jovan, let's kind of give an explanation why we went, because if they watched last week, they noticed that it was episode 46. Why don't you tell them why we went from 46 to 48?
Well, guys, if you saw last week's, it was episode 46, episode 47 was the name of it. We went 2 hours long. Normally, we like to give you an hour worth of content. So with that, each hour is its own special show. So that was a mega packed 2 episodes in one, making this now 48.
Also, we just don't give a fuck. Whatever. This could be episode 63 for all we know. Who gives a shit? We're just
we could have 6 episode 69s.
You would like that, you sick fuck.
Damn right. And right? And I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, I mean, you've already got like a 33 1/3% chance of liking that 69 joke anyway. And if you keep on listening to us, you're guaranteed to have 141 2/3% chance of actually loving this episode. So sit back, relax. We've got a lot to get to today and enjoy shooting shit. Can I just say, man, watching our entrance video, I looked like a fucking bum with the fro and beard all froed out.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I thought something very similar to that what you just said as I was watching. It's like, man, maybe I need to redo Jovan's little intro there.
Jesus, I saw that. I'm like, somebody give that guy $1 so he doesn't have to suck dick for a sandwich. Oh,
wow. And it's funny because if you go all the way back to our old intro with the old music and stuff, it was the exact opposite. You had the clean shaven look, and that.
Man. So I might need to get a good haircut and then redo my entrance. Anyways, fellas, how are y'all doing tonight, man? That's how we're starting today.
Man, I'm feeling pretty good, decided to, make some changes in my life, and I think if I stick to them, it's going to be for the better, man. So.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Joey K? How you doing?
I just got a really bad itch on my balls, so, whatever.
How you doing? How you?
Keep it moving.
Keeping it moving, DDJ. Where do you want to start tonight?
Well, you know what? Let's actually kind of do something that we don't normally do, and let's talk about WWE to start. I mean,
thank you.
I mean, last time when we left off, we were just talking about how the Triple H regime, is just kind of starting to take hold. When we saw the after effects, the effects of it during SummerSlam with the returns of Dakota Kai and Io Sky, pairing up with Bayley.
Pockets Bayley.
What's that?
Pockets Bayley.
Yes, Pockets Bayley. Yes. And then we go to and now, we're almost 2 weeks into the Triple H regime, and, we're starting to see more. I mean, we've got a few more returns. We had SmackDown, which was a couple days after we recorded. We saw the return of one Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I thought the way they did it was awesome. I just can't wait to see the full-fledged entrance, for a match or something and stuff. But we're getting the teases with it and stuff. And I mean, honestly, it's one of the rights that Triple H is rectifying. He's going back and undoing a lot of Vince's wrongs, and I think this is one of the big ones.
Joey K, what's on your mind?
I mean, it's gonna be a slow build. You can't really just full 180 that shit. Years of bad booking and bad fucking call ups and all that nonsense. But it's nice to see like Karrion Kross, the NXT version of Karrion Kross, show up on SmackDown. That was pretty cool. Especially coming off a pretty fucking good match at Ric Flair's last match.
Oh yeah,
that he had with Davey Boy Jr., which was really cool. Did you guys watch SmackDown tonight at all?
I did.
And the return of 75% of Hit Row. all the members of Hit Row that can return.
That's what I was gonna say. And I mean, I like the group as as a foursome. Obviously, Swerve brought something to it as well. But I mean, obviously, he's doing his thing now in AEW, being one half of the tag team champions with Keith Lee. But I mean, it's good to see that these other three, because they're all I mean, this group as a whole you can definitely tell they play so well off each other, and
they only work well together, in my opinion, because the star of the group, let me not say that, the solo star in the group was able to go out and do something with himself. Swerve Strickland. AJ Francis, love him to death, but I don't think anybody was beating down the doors for top dollar. B-Fab, I think, was already starting to get into the new career. And for the love of God, I cannot tell you what the hell the third guy's name is.
Ashanti the Adonis.
The Adonis. Jesus
there you
Christ.
go.
I disagree. I don't think they were really given the fucking time.
Oh, they weren't.
They weren't. They got called.
No, they weren't.
They got drafted to SmackDown in last year's draft. The day they got drafted, B-Fab gets released, they come up, and then they have the one appearance, and then the next week all three of them got cut, and
but what have you done since being cut?
Well, that's
my thing.
I think that's
Swerve
a little
went out there.
Too,
I don't know.
Swerve went out there and
hit
fucking
the
pulled down
hard.
Tony Khan's fucking little midget coked out dick to get a payday, just so him and Keith Lee can fucking finally get on TV for anything. And no fucking shit on Swerve there, but dude, what are you really doing in AEW either? I'm sorry.
Whose house?
Get the fuck
Swerve's
out of
house.
here.
Swerve's
No,
house.
let me be very blunt with this. I do like Swerve, but come the fuck on. When he came out and debuted in AEW, that wasn't the fucking same pop that a lot of other guys that came out and debuted. He had to bust his ass to kind of get over there. And you know what? They paired him up with Keith Lee. Good on them for doing it, because Keith Lee still was getting those big pops, even though he wasn't doing fucking shit against anything. I said it how many times? He looks fucking useless. There was nothing there. So now it's oh, look, they're the tag team champions. Okay, cool. There's been a lot of teams that have been tag team champions in various companies that don't mean shit. So sorry to say it, but don't tell me that oh, well, he's a tag team champion in AEW, so now all of a sudden he's the fucking main breakout star. That's kind of bullshit, in my opinion. I don't agree with that at all. So yeah, and I think if they even had a fucking little bit of a chance, I think top dollar fucking AJ is gonna be, well, not going to be, but could be a very, very fucking big star.
I agree with you 100%.
Especially with fucking Triple H running shit.
Yeah.
Because how over did Hit Row get in the very tail end of their fucking NXT bit?
Yeah, they were over.
Okay, thank you. So, but then, like I said, Swerve, no disrespect on him, because I think he's still fucking really great in the ring, but he kind of has to work to get over. He didn't come into AEW like, hey, look who showed up in AEW. It's like they're not like, jerking him off like fucking Sting every week. I mean, maybe if he was a 66-year-old fucking, white man who dresses like the fucking Crow from 1992, like, cool. Like,
good movie, by the way.
Great movie, but still, like, like with the same old fucking stupid gimmick, no selling fucking everything, and just like, oh, like, let the old man jump off the fucking rafters once in a while and crash into fucking 8 dudes. Like, whatever.
Right. So let's reel it back in here.
Oh, no, I'm not reeling it back in. Fuck that noise. Let me tell you something. They should have left his ass in that coffin on Wednesday night. I'm sure we'll get to it. They should have left him there.
Spoilers for up and coming Dynamite talk.
Boy, you didn't watch it. Go fuck yourself. That's what I'm saying.
So, getting off of SmackDown, back on the SmackDown from tonight, man. They had a great match with Gunther and Shinsuke. Freaking amazing. They continue to build, Drew McIntyre back up, which I'm digging.
You would.
Fart noise, really?
Yeah, fart noise, man. Fucking, whatever. Go on.
Who shit in your Lucky Charms today?
Fucking apparently Drew McIntyre. Shit in him for 2 years because I still don't fucking like him. I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't like. It was. It's like so hit or miss with him, and like just to throw him back in just to try to get him over with the crowd again. Like, because what was he doing for the past year? Playing with his fucking rubber sword. And no, that's not even a euphemism.
Well, the only
Literally,
reason
that's
why,
what he
the main reason
did.
why he's even in the spot he's in right now is because of where the next premium live event's going to be.
Let's not act like they
Thank
don't
you.
do this all the time, because fucking Jinder Mahal got the belt because they were going to India.
I'm not even arguing that point. And yeah, 100%. Of course, you're going to use who you got. Like, you're trying to build a market somewhere. You might as well use the fucking local star. I mean, that's fucking territory booking 101. Let me give you a real fucking hot take, and DDJ is gonna get real mad at this.
Here we go, Cornette.
God damn it.
Burger.
Let me give you a hot take. Territory booking 101. I hate to say this, but I'm not a huge fan of Jerry Lawler. And I'm sorry, but anyone outside of the fucking territory he's from, nobody really gives a flying fuck. I said what the fuck I said.
The king of Memphis wrestling.
The king of Memphis wrestling can stay in fucking Memphis and never fucking leave Memphis because nobody gives a shit. You did one thing with a comedian in the fucking 40 years ago, bro. Like, cool, great, awesome. Man. Here's DDJ. I know he's got your little fucking lace garter belt up in a bunch now. Here we go.
I'm trying to figure out where Jerry Lawler fits into this whole thing. We were talking about Drew McIntyre.
I'm talking. I know, but that's the thing.
So where his mind went
You're
was
booking
Lawler.
Drew out of nowhere, all right? Let's be real, because Drew's been floundering. You do the fucking gimmick with the fucking stupid sword. How many ring ropes is he going to cut with this fucking thing? Nobody gives a shit, okay? Like a fucking 8-year-old kid in the arena might care about it, but I fucking sure as hell don't. So yeah, you're going to, and same thing with Jinder. They're fucking trying to break into India and break into the market. So what do? They fucking put the title on Jinder. By the way, he's fucking Canadian. I mean, Jesus Christ.
How dare you talk about the modern day Maharaja?
Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
don't hinder the gender.
Yeah, he could have a fucking guest spot on Letterkenny at this point. So what the fuck, dude? He's Canadian. Like, stop.
Best
but yeah,
wrestler of all time.
The Clash at the Castle. Also, stupid fucking name. Almost as bad as Quake at the Lake or whatever fucking jerk off fest that AEW is having next week. It's like,
Okay, for the moment, the worst pay-per-view name: Clash at the Castle or Great Balls of Fire?
Great Balls of Fire.
Great
Stupid.
Balls of Fire still has.
It was in Texas. Fucking Texas got Great Balls of Fire. Because it's hot down here.
This is gonna be
I
a
don't
really
get it.
bad episode.
Anyway, guys,
I got so many fucking bad comments to make about everything right now.
so
I fucking sometimes I love pro wrestling and sometimes I absolutely fucking hate pro wrestling. And
that kind of goes to what MVP tweeted out, that the people who hate pro wrestling the most are pro wrestling fans.
it's 100% true.
He's right. He's dead on with that.
He is dead on with it. But you know what? When you're a fan and you get force-fed bullshit, you're gonna say, hey, I don't want to be force-fed bullshit anymore. I mean, and that's the fucking circle of wrestling life. Hakuna motherfucking Matata. Like, that's what we do here. Like, I will fucking bitch and look at you in your smoothie, man.
He's killing it.
He's killing that fucking thing.
That's good shit, man.
90% peanut butter.
What's that? Put peanut butter on what? Huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Let him lick it off.
Yeah, I bet.
Can't teach that.
No, no, you can't.
I don't even know.
Wrestling fans are the fucking worst, and I'll put myself in that category sometimes too. I'll bitch and complain about shit. Like, you look at certain booking of guys, like I'm talking right now. Drew McIntyre's getting pushed because of Clash at the Castle. Like, honestly, I really don't give a shit. Like, I really don't care. It's just another fucking stepping stone. I'd rather see Karrion Kross, Roman Reigns. And Jesus, how does Drew feel about that too? Like, Hunter comes in, brings his guy back. It's like they were building up to this Clash at the Castle. Oh, it's going to be Drew McIntyre against Roman Reigns. Well, anybody who believes that Drew McIntyre is going over Roman Reigns, get the fuck out of here. Please unsubscribe to the show. Just drive off a cliff somewhere. I don't give a fuck. You have no idea. Like, that's never going to happen.
You can send all hate mail to @JoeKoon on Facebook.
Send it, you shitbirds. I don't care.
On Twitter, Joe Coon on Facebook.
Yeah,
we will embrace it,
dude. I'm gonna start a PO box just so you guys, people can send me fucking just the death threats and the fucking Joe just shit in your hat and pull it over your ears type of letters. I don't care.
DJ, what's his new? What's Joey K's new phrase? What was it?
What was it from last week?
All filler, no filter.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Send it to me.
So let's get a little bit back.
A nice handwritten sentiment goes a long way, people.
Yeah, well, you can write. Never mind. So we've seen all these returns between Raw and SmackDown, because I know we kind of started trying to talk about Raw.
Oh yeah, I started complaining about everything.
We lost track of where we were going. But I mean, hell, DJ, who's all returned already since the regime of the game took over?
Basically, if you go to, not counting Bailey because she was kind of on the active roster, she was just injured. But if we're talking about people who were either let go or were basically going to go, so far you had at SummerSlam, you had Io Shirai, who's now going by Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Then on Raw, I'm trying to think, did anybody return on the Raw after SummerSlam? I don't think so. Then we had on SmackDown, we had Karrion Kross. And then on this past week's Raw, we had Dexter Lumis show up at the end of the show.
Why? Because Lumis is awesome.
You guys are fucking idiots. I love you both, but you guys, oh God. That walking fucking mustache turd is just the worst fucking thing. That is like the worst gimmick. I can't. I mean, I was waiting for him to lift his nuts and pull Johnny Gargano out to drop him off. Like,
okay,
that's
hot take and rapid fire back to back. Here we go. Hot take number 1. I like the Lumis character a lot more than I do Orange Cassidy. And rapid fire question, short yes or no, is Johnny Gargano going back to the E?
Yes.
Nice. All right.
Oh, I mean, come on. That's
I don't know, man. I don't know. I still have this weird feeling.
At the rate it's going now, like you're gonna see fucking DIY back together in the next 60 days.
I'd love that. Oh, by the way, Ciampa's, heartfelt tribute to Harley Race, fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I love the fucking gear.
Yes.
That was cool as fuck. But didn't like the loss.
Yeah, he should have won.
Hold on, like that was all right. I have a problem with that booking. I like the fucking build up. Like let's make this the U.S. title prestigious again, and these fucking video package blah 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 bullshit, and then fucking Ciampa basically shouting out Harley Race and coming out in the fucking Harley Race inspired gear, and then it wasn't quite a squash, but I mean, it was a little close at points where you're just like, you're really gonna fucking bring Ciampa out just to get squashed by Lashley like that? Are you fucking? What are we doing here? I like. How did we feel about that? I
kind of wish that Ciampa would have gotten a little bit more offense in. I don't have an issue with Lashley going over because it's kind of like you said. If this is going to be a gradual change from the old guard to the new guard, you can't just have Triple H come in and have all his guys go over just like that. This isn't WCW. 2000 when Bischoff and Russo took over and they stripped everybody of their belts and stuff like I think Ciampa will eventually wind up with the U.S. title or something. I mean, but I just think, like I said right now, it would have been, I just think, too soon for him to go over. So I don't have an issue with Lashley going over. One thing I kind of want to touch on, and you mentioned it about the video about building up the prestige of the U.S. title. They also did that on SmackDown with the Intercontinental title, and that match between Gunther and Shinsuke Nakamura, that was a banger. Like
that's the tale of two matches, though.
Yeah,
I mean, they
had such a big fight feel going. I think I even messaged you, Jovan, like during the show because we were chatting back and forth, and I even said, like, man, they really gave this match a big fight feel.
It felt like a big deal going into the main event of a pay-per-view kind of feel to it because they're building it up. Shinsuke, freaking McAfee didn't get up and dance. McAfee's zoned in. He's like, I'm all in on this match. I'm going to be 100% focused on it. It's the small things that match had that made it feel big.
Well, and also two real fucking hard-hitting dudes that can have a real strong style match.
Yes.
Is that to me, that was a selling point there. Like all the extra like big fight feel type shit, awesome, love it. The fucking build for it, and it delivered. But like the opposite to me was the U.S. title match where it was just like
because of how it ended,
yeah. It kind of fell flat to me. But I get it though. Like you're not gonna fucking push, Hunter's guys right away.
Right,
you're going to bring them back. I mean, do I really expect Karrion Kross to beat Roman Reigns for the title? No, but it's a fucking cool build to it, and it's going to probably be a solid match, and they're going to really like work their asses off for it. But we all know what it's leading to. We all know The Rock's coming back. We all know it's probably going to lead to WrestleMania fucking Hollywood, where The Rock returns. And it's The Rock versus Roman. So you have to keep the title on Roman, but you also have to give him fresh challenges.
You know what, man? I'm going to say this. I'm looking past Mania 23. Way past it. I'm not so-fied.
You mean Mania?
We
was like
2023.
We've been looking at past Mania 23 for like fucking 15 years, bro.
Dickhead, okay. I meant 2023. The one for next year.
You said Mania. You should have said Mania 39.
Okay, I'm looking past Mania 39 for you super literal fucks. I'm looking past
Mania 40 is going to be in Joey K's hometown.
Exactly.
Okay.
WrestleMania 40 is where it's going to be at, and we are going to have a massive party.
I am all right. So this is full. Now we're full on sidetracking this because you brought it up. I have to say it. I have never been to a WrestleMania. I've always wanted to go to WrestleMania. I've been to various big shows. I've been to televised wrestling shows. I've been to pay-per-view events. I've never been to a WrestleMania. I am so fucking pumped up for it's number 40. Okay. So the thing is, if you look at 10, 20, 30, they've been big, huge shows.
Yeah.
And even so, and I know it was said before, Vince didn't like to do like the nostalgia thing as much for those shows. He always wanted to keep Mania going, but it's hard not to when you get to those big numbered shows like that. 10 was pretty nostalgic in the Garden. 20 again was pretty nostalgic. 30 not so much, but it was one of the biggest and best fucking Manias ever. That was
it had that, that epic ending with Daniel Bryan,
We also had fucking Lesnar breaking the streak.
Yep.
Yeah.
So some huge fucking moments at 30. So I fully expect though, but see, Hunter is a different guy. And yeah, we got a long time to get there, so God only knows what's going to happen in that company between now and then. But just playing it for how things are today, Hunter is a nostalgia guy. He is a fucking, like he is Mr. Wrestling, the history, the knowledge, all that stuff.
The past.
He does. I mean, and for me, my excitement built huge for 40 now because it's a big number one. If Hunter's in charge, you're going to have the nostalgia. You're going to have the fucking tributes. You're going to have the classic type shit. It's going to be fucking epic. And it's going to be 40 minutes from my front door. So
We're staying at your house?
Yeah, dude. I don't give a fuck. Neat. Dude, you guys are all welcome at my house. You two, not any other fucking meatballs that listen to the show. Fuck y'all. If you're a fan of the show, stay away from my fucking house. Hit the fucking Radisson. Leave me alone. But you two, you guys are fine. And the SGS boys, of course. The entire collective is all welcome in the house here. Since spoiler alert, it sounds like we're all gonna fucking go, right?
It sounds like everybody's
judging by the group chat. Everybody is fucking coming to Philly at this point for 40, right?
Well, dude, it's the chance to see John Cena and RVD. That's got to be booked.
What?
It's Philly, man.
Oh,
dude,
we're gonna have the rematch from One Night Stand 06.
That's right.
Would be almost what would it be like?
Get my hopes up.
Like 28 years or 18 years later, something like that.
Later.
Yeah. But no, it was we were talking, and then we'll kind of move on to some other stuff. But one of the things I kind of want to touch on was I know we all were in agreement that SmackDown was really good and Raw was okay, but it seems to me like right now it seems like SmackDown is clearly the better show. Raw has improved, but it's still got a little way. It's still got a little ways to go. I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not.
I'll say it's not completely unwatchable anymore. It's slightly better.
They gave us 1 hour of really good of Raw.
Yeah, instead of like fucking 12 minutes of really good Raw. So we got to the 60-minute mark. I'm good with that. I have a question for you guys.
Oh shit.
I read this on the interwebs. I was on the Google machine and saw some comments about it. And it made me think.
Google.
The
Lugal.
Lugal. I was listening to Motley Lue. On the fucking on
Home Sweet Home.
All right. What do you guys think about this? Even with the new Hunter era and everything kind of starting to shift and change, because I think it's pretty obvious you see the shifts and changes in Raw at this point.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about dropping Raw to 2 hours?
I would fucking love it if they did, but I want them to do it, but it won't happen because of the money involved.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The advertising dollars are going to drive it. So let's take that out of the equation.
I think you know what? I'll put it to you this way: if it were up to, and I think the majority of wrestling fans would also agree with the fact that Raw should be 2 hours.
They do almost 30 minutes of recap of just what happened earlier in the night.
Yeah. I would love it if they went down to 2 hours. I think it would just make the product that much more watchable and enjoyable.
Give me the old 90s 9 to 11. Okay. First hour and then second hour where it was from Monday Night Raw to Raw is War at 10 when it shifted. Give me that vibe. 2 hours. Ditch the recaps. Ditch the bullshit. Take it. Of course, we're talking about something where the real talk should be about the advertising dollars, and I get that. Of course, I think we all know that, and that's why it won't change. But we take that out of the equation. You're gonna have a compact fucking wrestling show that's really going to hit. You're going to tell me that the biggest era for WWE was the fucking Attitude Era of the 90s when they only had a 2-hour window on USA.
But they did such a great job back then of featuring everybody.
Everybody was featured. So many fucking mid-carders were over on a 2-hour show. You didn't have to pack everybody into a 3. And
this was even before they had SmackDown.
Yeah. And I mean, that I think would benefit so fucking much. The biggest thing about that too is like, hey, we only have a 2-hour window. You need to go out there and get your shit over. Don't rely on the fucking video packages. Don't rely on the fucking recaps and all this secondary bullshit. Go out there, get your fucking match over. And that's how you got so many of these guys over and girls over in like the late 90s to early 2000s before Raw switched over to a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
It's not just about the time, it's what you're doing with the fucking time. I think Raw would benefit greatly from a 2-hour show because we're just saying it. Is SmackDown the better show? Yeah, I think we all agree. SmackDown is the better show right now. SmackDown's packed into 2 hours. And you don't have to have the fucking title featured. I mean, Roman's kind of proven that. And tonight, again, proved it.
Well, Brock even did it before Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like tonight was a good bit of proof on that too.
Have we just
fucking feud, like this feud with the Intercontinental title as a main event match, and it fucking delivered as that? Why not?
I feel like we've been conditioned not to expect to see the champion. Wow. Thinking about it, Roman, Brock. When's the last time we had a full-time fucking champion?
Probably when Drew.
Drew during the COVID era.
But see, this kind of goes back to, back in the day, when Hogan was the champ, and then obviously this was before, Monday Night Raw and the Monday Night Wars and stuff. But when Hogan, you never saw him like on Superstars or Wrestling Challenge. Like you may get an interview, but he never wrestled. The only time you ever saw him wrestle was either at the pay-per-view or if like they had a Saturday night's main event and stuff. So, I mean, people, obviously it's probably more of the younger fan base that's like, that we need that, we've never had this before where the champion's not on. I mean, someone like, like our age and stuff, I grew up on that because again, Hogan was the man, but he wasn't on every week. We didn't really have the first person I remember kind of being the champion and like you would see almost every week would probably be Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm. That was where the big shift was going to go. Like when you had Bret Hart, who was a real fucking worker. I mean, look, we grew up in an era where we only had the big four of pay-per-views, right? You had your Rumble, your Mania, your SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. And even when they finally introduced King of the Ring in 93, right?
93.
So you had 5 pay-per-views. Those were really the only times you saw the fucking title defended in a match. Everything else was filled and built to like, kind of build up to those big pay-per-views.
Or like I said, a Saturday night's main event or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, and really what changed, yeah, you're right. Bret Hart, you started to see it more, but really the Monday Night War sparked it where, you have to have the champ on every week.
Yep.
Because you have to build. So now we're back to that era again where you get very limited time of the champ. I mean, Roman's been on TV more talking and holding the title in street clothes than he has been wrestling.
Yes.
Well, what was it, Mania to was that I think it was right before Money in the Bank when he wrestled Riddle. That I think that was like the first time he had wrestled, but that was like we're talking a week before Money in the Bank and stuff. That was the first time he had defended the Undisputed Universal title since Mania.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, since we're talking titles and we're talking Bret Hart, piece of wrestling news that came out recently is Bill Goldberg. He said he's
overrated.
Done. He's tired of it. He's not doing it anymore. He's not apologizing anymore for ending Bret's career. Takes.
Well, to be honest, he the only person he should apologize to, and I don't know if he did or not. I mean, it would be Bret. He doesn't need to apologize to anyone else. He doesn't owe me an apology. He doesn't owe you guys an apology and stuff. I mean, it sucks because, who knows, how much more we could have gotten out of Bret. And I mean, one thing that I kind of thought of, maybe we could have we got Bret back to the WWE in 2010, but maybe he would have come back a little sooner and actually been able to wrestle a little bit, and stuff had this not happened. But I mean, you can and I'm not a Goldberg fan. I will never ever claim to be a Goldberg fan. He just has never done anything for me. But you can only say you're sorry or whatever, for what happened so often, and then it just gets to the point, it's because if people won't accept the apology or whatever, then he has the right to actually move on. I mean, if he apologized to Bret, that's the only thing that matters to me. Like anything else, he don't owe anyone else an apology. He doesn't owe any of us. He doesn't owe, the IWC, whatever. So I mean, like I said, I'm not a Goldberg fan, but you know what? I think I've got no issue with him saying, you know what, I'm done. I don't have any issue with it whatsoever.
Part of this is on Bret, though. I mean, let's be real. Bret and Shawn buried their shit, but Bret still comes out and talks shit on Shawn. I mean, and that's been the case for years because they buried that shit years ago. And then all of a sudden, like, Bret will pop up in an interview and talk some bullshit about Shawn Michaels and this and that. And you're talking about a guy at a point in his career, speaking of Shawn, that everybody knows he was an asshole. Everybody knows he had some fucking substance abuse problems. Everybody knows Shawn's story. And obviously he's not the same person he was at that point. But Bret will come out and talk some shit and say some things, even though he supposedly buried it with Shawn. And it's the same thing with Goldberg, because there was something where they talked it out. They worked shit out, and it was, and yeah, you're right. Goldberg doesn't owe an apology to fucking fans or anybody else. Who gives a flying fuck? We're not watching fucking, professional cornhole on the Ocho at fucking 2 a.m. Everybody at this point should understand professional wrestling. You can get really fucking hurt or die in that ring. This isn't fucking, it's not fake or silly or any of that kind of shit. You can get seriously fucking injured and hurt. That's what you sign up for. That's what you know. Bret's biggest problem is Bret's always known as a guy who he doesn't hurt people. He was always very safe in the ring. He always takes pride in that. I understand that. But that doesn't mean that everybody else does either. That doesn't mean that everybody else is going to have a fucking perfect, clean record. Shit happens. Did he get kicked in the face? Yeah. Did he blame Goldberg? You know what? Maybe he should have fucking blamed himself for going to WCW, knowing full well that he's going to work for a company that really didn't give two flying fucks about the health and safety of their fucking talent at that time. Let's be real. There was a lot of guys at that time in that era who complained about the fucking, working conditions and how unsafe certain guys were, how they're pushing a guy like Goldberg, who is very fucking green. I mean, go back and watch the fucking William Regal match if you want to really know how great Goldberg is in the ring at that point of his career. But, let it fucking go. And, good. I'm not a Goldberg fan either, but good on him for saying, I'm fucking done. I don't want to fucking apologize for it. I don't care. Like, he shouldn't. He really shouldn't. If he settled it with Brett, he settled it with Brett. If Brett still wants to go on record and still talk shit about it because it ended his career, guy, get over it. It was 20 plus years ago at this point. It's over and done with, and everything played out the way it is. Fuck it.
Shifting gears here, ladies, because you mentioned Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels came out and said, hey, NXT 2.0, that transition from the black and gold to the 2.0 was me. I wasn't creative. It wasn't very much Vince. Wasn't very much Pritchard. He's taking the blame for 2.0 having a shaky start, saying he never did it before. He's kind of got his grounding now. It's kind of going better now. Do we believe Shawn was solely to blame for the start of 2.0?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
All right.
Simple.
You talked about a couple of things here. You talked about Goldberg and you talked about Shawn Michaels. And, Goldberg had his biography on A&E a couple weeks ago. This week's is going to be DX, which should be good. But I want to ask you guys, did either of you get a chance to watch the one on Luger?
I haven't.
No.
All I'm going to say is it's probably the best one that they've done out of all of them, and it's an amazing redemption story, So I highly recommend checking it out.
To go look it up
and stuff. So.
All right. So we've touched the E a lot today. Wow, man. A lot more than I thought we would.
And we didn't even have to sign an NDA for it. So that's great.
I'd rather take the
speaking of NDAs, they found more money.
Last one on the E, they found more money. $5 more million for good old Vincent Kennedy. Touches everybody, not named McMahon.
Where do we draw the line on? Like, all right, so where are we going to cap this? We're close to 20 million now, right?
I think we're over. I think we're like 25 or something like that.
Yeah, I think we're right on the outside of it.
Yeah. I mean, where are we going to end this? I feel we're going to end we're going to end somewhere in the mid 30s.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I would go with that.
So hot take. Does anybody else think that possibly Lacey Evans is one of these NDAs?
Ooh, I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I mean,
no.
You hear about everything they say with these NDAs. These are people that Vince only pushed because of their services. Lacey pre-baby was getting the push of a lifetime. She was changing heel. Now Lacey post-baby. Where is she?
She ain't doing anything.
Oh, she is. She's coming out and doing that bullshit.
She hasn't been on TV in like I think 2-3 weeks. Like I don't think she's been on since during the Triple H regime and stuff. So which sucks.
NDA.
I don't know though if I'm gonna say that she was one of them though.
Okay. I can't wait till the list of names come out.
Yeah, I don't know if I want because I feel like it's just.
I do. I want to know. Look, we kept the track of the Kiss My Ass Club. I want to know who's on the Suck My Club.
I feel when we finally get that list of names, I think there's going to be some names on there that people are going to look and go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be a handful of holy shit, including some people that might no longer be with us anymore.
If Moolah is on there, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck, dude? Oh, wow.
She was fabulous.
Yeah, I bet. Jesus Christ. No, I really think that list is going to be like, some people are going to be shocked. I think somewhat like guys like us are gonna go, yeah, I can see that. Fuck. Yeah, I can see that too. I'm not. I don't want to say it just yet, but I feel like there is at least one name of a female performer on that list that's no longer around, no longer with us.
I think I know who you're talking about.
That people are going to be like, oh, maybe there's a lot more to this story than
I would love that story to get told.
I think I have an idea of who you're talking about.
You guys probably know. I don't want to say it out loud just yet.
No.
But because it's kind of like,
but it should open up that story because of concerning how that person, So
and like that. To be honest with you, that was actually one of the first things I thought. Like when all this shit broke, and I was like, wow, I wonder who some of these females could be, and that was one of probably the first names that popped in my head, and I was like, oh that's not good.
No.
That's not good at all, especially, and that's going to change a lot of perspective on Vince McMahon. I don't think you're going to get a lot of fucking cheers for the McMahon name
once that comes out.
Exactly. If that comes out, and if that's actually true, it's all just,
speculation.
Yeah, that's my own,
I can guarantee you Kelly's on the list.
There's like I said, there's gonna be a few names that you're just like, yeah, I knew that. Fuck, okay.
Who hasn't?
Could have fooled me, buddy. There's a handful on there that you're gonna be like,
of course,
called it, bro. I called it while I was watching fucking WWE, going, who's dick did that person suck to get on TV? And you're like, oh, that makes sense now.
Vince.
It was Vince, and he got paid for it. Okay, cool.
Can't wait for the NDA special.
Fucking
dark side of the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're covering territories soon. That's going to be really fun.
That'll be interesting. So,
talking about territories again. Fellas, move on to AEW. I'm gonna grab me some more water. See what y'all got for this Dynamite and Rampage combo.
Well, I mean, it was nice to see that they're starting to build to All Out. Looks like obviously the big news is that CM Punk is back. I actually saw him at C2E2. He was there all weekend, signing autographs and meeting fans. And when I saw him walking around, he looked like I thought he was getting around fine. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's close, and I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he showed up soon. And he showed up and that. So, I mean, there's still, I think, all the dirt sheets, because I think they're trying to cover it, because a lot of them are saying, oh, he's not going to be back till after All Out or whatever, and he showed up. So all the dirt sheets, like, Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Messy Desk Meltzer and stuff, I think they're trying to cover their tracks and, save whatever little credibility that they may actually have, because Punk worked them and stuff. So it was nice to see him back. It looks like that, we're going to possibly get, the unification match at All Out, Punk versus Mox.
Hold on. Punk worked too.
Huh?
Punk
the dirt sheet writers.
Dude, Punk is working all of us. I guarantee you he doesn't wrestle All Out.
You don't think he does?
No.
I don't know. Why would they bring him back, during the All Out push if he wasn't going to work? Huh?
Excitement.
Dude, do you obviously, I know you're going to be at the show because you're going to be, we're going to be hanging out at the show and stuff. Dude, I think if they're not going to put, if he's not wrestling, they shouldn't have brought him back. They should have either saved him for like after the main event at All Out, or maybe the Dynamite after. Like, I just don't think you put him, back on TV now if he's not going to wrestle, because we don't know at what the injury, like nobody's saying anything about what the actual injury was. So, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I think we get Punk versus Mox at All Out. That's just my take, just because, like I said, I don't think you put him on TV now if he's not ready, if he's not going to be ready to go.
I don't know. I'm torn on that. There's an argument on both sides. Because, like, yeah, I'm kind of over the interim thing. So the sooner that ends, the better. But does he wrestle at All Out? I think the easy answer is yes, he does, because they already brought him back to TV. That was a big thing. The secondary thing of that, though, is like, is this Tony Khan just really fucking going buck wild of like, I got to throw somebody on here. I got to do this. I got to do that. Is Punk even 100%? Can he do a run-in? Yeah, he can do a run-in. Can he do a little here and there, but can he go a full fucking match and against a match against Moxley, who's obviously probably going to go work a little stiffer than the average guy? It's hard. I don't know. I think the real telltale signs going to see on Wednesday and where they build to it. Come next Wednesday's Dynamite. That's going to be the sign. I'm on the fence. I'm 50-50 on it right now, but I think after Dynamite, we'll know pretty much 100% if Punk's going to be. Even if they don't announce the match, I think we'll all figure it out 100% if it's going to be Punk. Or is there one person in AEW that's out there that they can bring in, if it's not Punk wrestling for the title at All Out? Who could it be?
The only other person that's even close to that level that I think they could put in that spot that would elicit.
Don't get it wrong, fucker.
So there's two.
Oh, now you're covering your ass. No,
now
he's
it's
the one
two.
person. Don't cover your ass. Give me the one.
The one that I was thinking of, because if this person comes out, I think it's gonna keep Mox in that that role that he's in, with the basically the baby face or whatever, that kind of kicks ass. Because if it's the other guy that Giovanni, if you're watching this on YouTube, was alluding to, Mox is clearly going to be the heel in that match because everybody's been waiting for this guy to come back. But to me, if you want someone that's going to kind of keep Mox in that babyface role that he's in, the only other person I think of that's on the level that or close to that level that you could, bring in and people would be like, okay, we've been waiting for this person. We can dig it. We can buy this and stuff. To me, it's MJF.
That's the only answer there is. Just so you know, that's the only fucking answer there is. Because the other answer, I know you're already going to say it's going to be Kenny Omega, and it's not going to be Kenny Omega because obviously we should all figure out who the fucking Bucks partner is at this point.
Hot take.
Oh,
I don't think it's going to be Kenny.
He has a take.
I have a take. And we're going to talk about the trios tournament here in a little bit.
What do you mean your hot take? I just said it. They've built this entire thing. Hangman's not the guy. He's already said he's not going to do it. It's going to
be Kenny.
And so the obvious choice is going to be Kenny, especially if it's going to be the fucking Bucks and Kenny versus Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly in the finals.
They're not even in the tournament, though.
What's that?
Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly aren't in the tournament.
Injuries.
Well, here I got it up here.
Hold on. You guys really, really think that they're going to pass on that opportunity? You really think that that's what's going to happen? You think some fucking potato heads like the morons from the Dark Order are going to be the fucking guys or whoever else? No. The only thing that makes sense is basically Cole, O'Reilly, and Fish. Injuries be damned.
DDJ, pull up the brackets.
All right, here we go.
Get the tables.
So this is the bracket for the trios tournament that starts. And the first match is going to be this coming Wednesday in Dynamite, where you have La Facción Ingobernable with Andrade, El Idolo, Rush, and Dragon Lee going up against the Young Bucks and a mystery partner. You have Death Triangle versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open, which was fucking awesome that they got Will Ospreay for this tournament. Then you got House of Black versus Dark Order, and then the Trustbusters versus the Best Friends. So, like I said, Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly aren't in there. And I'm just going to come out and say it right now. I don't think that it's going to be Kenny Omega. I think it's going to be someone that's very close to Kenny Omega.
Don Callis.
No.
Michael
I think it's
Nakazawa.
someone.
Good
I honestly, to me, and this is someone that the Bucks have worked with in the past because they main evented All In with him. I think it's going to be Kota Ibushi.
Oh,
you really think so?
It would not surprise me one bit for it to be Kota Ibushi.
You've got more of a chance of it being the natural Bucks with Dustin Rhodes joining the freaking Young Bucks.
Well, Kota Ibushi's come out and said he wants to come. He wants to work for AEW.
Yeah.
He's
Last time I checked, New Japan said we don't give a fuck.
yeah.
Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
To me, and it's nothing like against these trios titles, but like I said, if you're bringing back Kenny Omega, you insert him in the main event scene like right away and stuff because he picks up right where he left off, and that's why I don't think he's going to be the Bucks' partner. If he is, awesome. You know, I don't see it.
You know who their partner is? It's Kevin
Brandon
Owens.
Cutler. It's going to be Brandon Cutler.
It's not going to be Cutler. It's going to be Kevin Owens. They're reuniting Mount Rushmore.
Oh, that would be
No,
nice.
it's going to be Kenny. It's going to be Kenny, and here's why. Look at the top. Bring the bracket back up.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Will Ospreay and Aussie Open against the Bucks and Kenny Omega. Seriously? Come on. That's going to happen. That has to happen. Dark Order, fuck them. Trustbusters, fuck them. Best Friends,
I'm about to say,
them.
looking at that other side, where do you put in your theory of the Super Elite somehow making it in?
Easy.
Or the Undisputed Elite, excuse me.
So yeah, get a fucking name. I hate this. Everything is elite. This elite. Fuck off. Okay.
Well,
so let me tell you. Let me tell you this. While I'm staring at this bracket here, that right side of the bracket, there's 3 teams that I don't give 2 flying fucks about, and I would be willing to bet Tony Khan doesn't either. So the only team on that right side is House of Black. You can easily have the House of Black getting over the Dark Order. Who gives a fuck about that other match? And that's where your Undisputed Elite comes in, takes them out, and then all of a sudden, well, they can't compete now. Now it's going to be the Undisputed Elite versus House of Black. And then Undisputed Elite goes to the finals. That's exactly how I see it working, especially looking at how weak that fucking right side of the bracket is. And the left side is easy. If it's not Ospreay and Aussie Open going over in that match to get, and same thing, with the Bucks and mystery partner, that's going to happen. That's why I say the mystery partner has to be Kenny. So you finally have the Kenny Will Ospreay payoff of their fucking online feud.
Yeah, I'll give you that there.
And that's a way to get the fucking Undisputed Elite into the finals to get to All Out. They take out whoever is the fucking team that's supposed to go to the finals or in the semifinals there to beat the House of Black. Come on. That's just fucking easy booking, in my opinion. That's how you do it. That's how you do it if you're bringing them in. It gives them a week off, an extra week off. Let whoever get there. What are you snacking? Fuck you snacking. Down there snacking.
Cantaloupe. It's good for your digestion, man. Keep going.
So that's how you do it. And then that's how you get fucking Kenny and the Bucks to the Undisputed Elite in the finals at All Out, which will then take some pressure off of whatever this main event situation is, if it is Punk or not Punk. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's a good point. I still think it's going to be. Still don't think it's going to be Kenny Omega, but I respect and I understand your take.
It's probably going to be fucking the Young Bucks and Rio.
It's the Young Bucks and Takeshita. He came back out of nowhere.
And they could fucking wheel out Onita at this point. I don't give a fuck. Like it's got to be Kenny. It's Kenny or bust. I mean, that's to me. That's just the way it has to be.
It's going to be the Young Bucks and Chris Bay. Bullet Club.
Or they could bring back Alpha and Tasmo because they worked pretty well together at Forbidden Door.
I I have no complaints on that. I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't either.
What
But
about
it would be underwhelming for what they've built up between the
Agreed.
Undisputed Elite and
Agreed.
you know.
I
But
agree.
I still on a match level, I'd have no problem with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, on a story build up level, yeah, I have a serious issue there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think, ELP is someone that like you don't want to sleep on. But yeah, and I think they, like I said, Giovanna and I talked, at Forbidden Door, how well they work together with, ELP worked with the Bucks and stuff, and that'd be great, But yeah, like you said, just based on what, like you said, Joe, what it built up to, that'd be a bit of a letdown.
Mm-hmm. And also it gets Kenny kind of. My thing is too, it gets Kenny back in instead of the big build up to get back to All Out.
Yeah.
Get in the ring, do something, have some type
Work
of
off the ring rust.
Work, yeah.
You're in a multi-man match. You don't have to carry the match.
Correct.
True.
You could just go in there, throw a couple of V triggers, hit a freaking one-wing angel.
If he gets back, and that's the other point here. If he gets back into the mix and he's the main event guy against Mox for the title, you're going 0 to 60 right away.
Yeah.
And for all the injuries that he's had, and that's taken all this time for multiple surgeries.
We're going on what, like 9 months or something.
Yeah.
By the time All Out rolls around, it'll be almost 10 months since he's
right. So like for all the injuries, all the surgeries, everything's coming back from, and you're gonna throw him right in there into a fucking huge singles match. I just don't see it because I don't think that's a smart way to keep Kenny healthy and in there. Kenny works one way. Kenny goes all out, like no pun intended, but he goes all out in his matches, and he's fucking, he goes pretty hard. This is a good way to have like Matt and Nick kind of carry some of that load to where he can ease back into it, build it back in, and he's getting paid millions of dollars, I'm sure, but not by Vince for carrying a load. So
yeah. So one of the things I just want to offer a little bit of a take on just the AEW product as a whole, and this might shock you guys, but I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but do you think it's getting to a point where like they're having guys bleed way too much on Dynamite? I kind of feel like it. I kind of feel
because of the entrance match, the buried alive match.
Well, the coffin match,
like
and then Mox and Jericho leading in the main event, which, by the way, fucking awesome for Jericho to come out to his old white zombie ECW theme and like the lion.
I love the lion timber look.
Okay, before I answer that question, one thing that AEW has done very well is take some of the nostalgia from some of their stars. You got the Punk entrance, his Ring of Honor entrance when he had the dog collar match with MJF. You got the fucking Lionheart entrance and Jericho wearing the fucking gear, the throwback gear.
Yep.
Like,
remember the Jericho entrance? I think it was from the first Double or Nothing when he his entrance was like all his different.
The entrance of Jericho.
Yes.
His through his career.
Various incarnations.
Yeah. Loved it. I loved it. They get that right. They really get that right. But to go to your question now, I
feel like I like blood in match, but just it's getting to the point where it's just like I think they're doing it just to do it.
I think that's a little bit of the inmates running the asylum a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting them get away with a little too much.
All right, Buttercup, both of y'all. I can't believe this. We grew up in the Attitude Era. It was always Austin was bleeding like a stuck pig. It was always Rocky. It was always Mankind. There was always somebody in a big time match that put on that crimson mask. And AEW,
but it wasn't like throughout the night multiple times. Like you had one guy that did it. It wasn't like
that's the thing, because you booked yourself to where you have this coffin match with Darby Allin. You know that's going to go balls to the wall nuts. There has to be blood in this thing. Then you've got Moxley, who is the reincarnation modern day of Cactus Jack, who's going to bleed in his matches because, damn it wakes him up. It makes him alive. He feels it in his nuts when he does it. Going against Chris Jericho, who gets the business, and is like, well, if you get colored, fucker, I'm gonna get colored too, because that's the dusty way. It's wrestling.
Yeah, but there's a difference though, and I think the real point of this question is, are we doing it in AEW because they can't do it in the E? And that's where yeah, but at the same time, where do you draw that line? Where do you draw the line of be your own fucking product and not just doing shit because your competitors aren't allowed to do it, so we're gonna over fucking do it.
So you take out Brody King's bloody mess of a fucking face during that match. That match loses something for me.
Okay, yeah, that one, yeah. But does Jericho and Moxley have to bleed in their main event?
I think,
especially building it as the match that it was built as. That's where the issue is.
Yeah,
Mox came out there week after week going, I want the fucking
lion
tamer. And that match did very much well start as, Jericho really work. I was like, oh shit. Like he's really working, trying to like stretch him a little bit. That little, that old school wrestling mentality.
The last survivor of the Hart family dungeon.
Right. Like I kind of like it got that vibe, but then we start bleeding everywhere and it turns into a little bit of a,
sports entertainment bloody fest, which Jericho's gimmick is sports entertainment.
Which I understand. I know I've had this argument with multiple people.
You guys had to tell me about that. Like I didn't get the gimmick, and I mean now it's the gimmick.
It is, but also they really blur that gimmick too. Speaking of which, tonight with Garcia coming out.
I hope they break him off that gimmick. I think that was the perfect way to start it.
And what he said and his words to Bryan Danielson. And it was like, okay, like you've run the course of this sports entertainer gimmick. We get it. You're taking shots at the E. You're taking shots at sports entertainment company. That's the joke. We're all in on it. All right, now let's move forward and give me some more substance. I didn't think that match needed blood, especially with Jericho coming out there as, fucking Lionheart Chris Jericho.
Agreed.
But that's fucking Tony Khan's issue though. Well, WWE can't do it, so we're gonna do it. They don't want to do this, so we're gonna do it. That kind of mentality is not good for that fucking company. And if some of these dirt sheets are even remotely accurate, it's starting to wear on a lot of people in that company. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have read some of that shit where people
I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the weight is to that. I'm not going to speculate what the weight is, but if it's out there and being said, there's probably at least a little bit of truth to it. Hey, just run your company as your company. Don't worry about what the fucking competitors are doing. Because guess what? Vince for years didn't give two flying fucks about what the competitors were doing.
The only time he ever gave a fuck about what WCW is doing was when WCW started beating him in the ratings.
When they started spoiling Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And that's so. But yeah, like I'm actually with that. Like I like because like we all love AEW. We're all wrestling fans. So we want everybody to succeed. Like I don't want one company to succeed at the expense of the others, because the more options that are out there, the better it is for wrestling fans, all around. And I just wish some of these AEW stands and these WWE stands would see that, but agreed. I just say, going back to what Joey K said, I 100% agree. It needs to be, what, you're going to run your company my way. You're this way. I'm going to run it my way. You know what? Because let's face it. And this goes out to any of the diehard AEW stands. And we know a few out there, people that like to have, they think they're geniuses and they wear beards and stuff like that. They, they think AEW is the be all end all. Let's face it. They're not. And they won't be for a long time, because the WWE is so far ahead of the game. And this is whether, those AEW stands want to hear it or not, it's the truth. WWE is so far ahead of the game. AEW is, they'll be lucky if within 5 years they get close to what Raw and SmackDown do on a weekly basis, and that's if they get to that point.
Here's a hot take: just because you can fucking sell out 20,000 seats in Chicago doesn't mean you can sell out a fucking stadium somewhere. And that's the honest to God truth.
Yeah, AEW.
I don't see AEW selling out 70,000 plus seats in a stadium.
No,
right now,
Right now, no.
Product, no, I don't. As much as I enjoy their product, as much as I enjoy their roster and the talent, I don't see that happening. WWE can.
Yeah,
and
it just goes to show you just how different it is. And I mean, again, whether wrestling for the AEW stands want to admit it or not, it's the truth. Like, see, I'm not I fancy myself as, when it comes to my wrestling fandom, is I'm a realistic wrestling fan. I don't live in this fantasy world where this one company is the best they can do, no wrong, because let's just face it. Nobody's like no wrestling company, no professionals, nobody in general can ever do all right. Everybody's going to screw up, or everybody, every once in a while and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so I just feel like, a lot of wrestling fans need to kind of be a little bit more realistic and realize that, it's not as one-sided as some people want to say.
Yeah, agree.
But you mentioned
one quick thing there. If you think that fucking Darby and Brody aren't going to bleed, you're a fucking moron. Because
that match, and that's kind of one thing I was kind of going to, and then we got sidetracked and stuff. That match warranted the blood, but
right.
Like you also said, the way that Mox versus Jericho was built up, they could have had that match in no blood, and I would have been just as entertained by it. Like, to me, the blood was unnecessary there.
Yeah,
and stuff. So, but I do want to say that coffin match was really damn good, and I thought it was kind of like I loved the way that it ended, because it was kind of circled back to how that feud started. With Brody basically choking Darby out with the sleeper in that 2-ring battle royal and stuff, and how did it end? Basically the same way. Darby choked Brody out and basically dropped him. He fell right in the coffin, the lid slammed shut, and that was it. So, did get reported though on AEW that it looks like Chris Statlander's out again for a while. So,
fucking A.
She's got bad knees, man.
Yeah, if anybody knows about bad knees, it's this guy right here and stuff. So
you and Chris Statlander trying to keep up with each other's knee.
We're having a competition here. One thing I do want to get your take on: what do you think about Miro's promo?
I like it. So the whole Redeemer thing, it was hit or miss for me, but the thing with the House of Black and then fucking what's her name? Julia Hart popping up, and his comment, there's only one woman who's allowed to touch me. Yeah, I was like, okay, I fucking Miro and these fucking Redeemer promos are just, I like it. I'm on board. I want to see more of it. I want to see where it goes, of course.
Hopefully this leads to one CJ Perry possibly becoming all elite, because I almost feel like it's getting to the point where he's referencing her more and more. So to me, it just seems like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, there needs to be some way to build it up for him to either get lost in being the Redeemer, and he needs someone to bring him back into focus, and it could be her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the character work of the Redeemer right now through the promos is greatness. We just need the matches to start equaling what we're seeing in the promos.
Right. So, but all in all, like you said, an interesting time in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, WWE is trending up. You know, we're getting ready to start hitting the home stretch for All Out and everything. So, and it's just anybody that's out there, just these people that are out there that are like to crap on everything. Get over yourselves. Enjoy what we have out there, because again, there's something out there for everybody, and that's what makes wrestling so great. So
Yeah, I agree.
Let's wrap it up before Premier falls asleep and DDJ keeps throwing slugs. So, this has been episode 48, you guys. Hopefully, if you've lasted this long, you've enjoyed it. The 141 and 2/3% that I said you would. Hopefully, if you're the person DDJ is talking about, you're not listening to this, hopefully. If you are, I'm sorry. Dennis is up late. He's tired. He likes to throw slugs. Let's see. For the Premier Joey K, the 5-star trivia machine DDJ, myself, Giovanni Tuhati, the Johners Podcasting Network, 2 out of 3 days of the week, the ladies in accounting, the guys down there in catering, and everybody that's still waiting on Wyatt to show up. We've been shooting shit. Have a good night.
Real quick before I hit the end credits, I do want to say to all the people out there who you think that Scott Steiner is an asshole. I can tell you that he is not. He is like one of the coolest dudes ever. I had an amazing weekend hanging out with him. He bought me Chipotle. He bought, we went to Trader Joe's a couple times. And
did you find out if he really was the genetic freak?
Did you chortle his balls?
I did not. No.
Is he really big, Papa Pump?
That's for me to know and you to find out.
Wow.
But no, he was really cool.
A lady never kisses and tells, does she?
Good night, everyone. Do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow the show on Twitter at SHOOTINSHT, and thanks for listening.